I've tightened up the anchor. Have a little look at the chain and make sure it's not rubbing anywhere. Once it's tight, I don't want to bring it off the end of the chain. I'm going to make a longer one of these actually with more chain. But yeah, that's okay. You can see the chain is around the rock and not the rope.
Hello and welcome to Turkey. We are just round the corner from Bodrum.
Yeah, the season proper has just started for us now. We've left Cesme, we've been out for a week or so, heading south, looking forward to a good season with some good sailing. We've had good wind so far.
Yeah, we have, and some good weather, mixed weather. I hope you like the film. Coming up, meeting the Englishman who makes top quality Turkish wine. Leaving Cesme for a slow sail south. And the Anchorage that will take your breath away.
This is a job I've been meaning to do for a while. Just pulling the chain up out of the locker, and I've stretched it out along the deck here, well, the first 50 metres anyway, which is what I've got marked up at the moment. When I actually got the chain, I only had enough. I only had a couple of packets of markers in the chandlers, so I've marked up the first 50 metres, but I've now got some others. Now, problem with this is they never do orange. I can't find orange, and I mean the obvious thing to do is red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet, the colours of the rainbow. 'Cause you can just remember those, so it's easy. But yeah, no orange. So I've got red, and then orange. I've just got red and yellow, and then yellow, green, blue. Obviously, I don't do indigo and violet because it's too close to that, and you haven't got them anyway. And then I've just got a mess of colours for the end. I think I've already got quite a few sort of odd bits of colour at the end, but I did get to the end. You think you're not going to use 100 metres of chain, but you do in Croatia, really deep there. So yeah, I got to the end and actually went beyond and onto the rope. So I mean, luckily I've got the rope and the rope's tied off on the end there, so I could just haul it back in again. But you do need, you know, these extra marks at the end there just to keep track of exactly where you are when you're letting it out quite quickly. So yeah, I'll pull the next 50 metres up and then mark it up. You can see this is the 5 metre line. I just have one on each bit for the 5 metre line, and then at the end each 10 metres is marked with 3 or 4 of each colour. So yeah, I'll get the other 50 metres out and mark the rest of it up. Give the chain a good clean and inspect it. I do this every year, but what I want to do is to make sure I get fresh water on it as much as possible, so I'm going to change the salt water wash to a fresh water one. Now we've got the water maker, I've got enough water to do that, so that's good. And much better for the chain to have a fresh water wash before it's put away. Well, things are starting to look nice and shiny on Fair Isle. I've got all the varnishing done. It's the last few days, you know, finishing up doing bits. So we've been into town, done some provisioning, got my hair cut, a bit shorter than normal, but don't speak any Turkish, so you sort of get what you get, but it's a good haircut. It's nice and cheap as well. And I actually went into the dentist. I've been trying to get an appointment at a UK dentist every time we go back, and it's impossible. I don't know what's going on there, but they gave me an appointment for, I think it was June next year. It's as soon as they could do it. But I walked up into town here, straight into the dentist to make an appointment, and he said, well, you in any pain? I said, well, tiny bit. So he said, come in straight away, just did it. So yeah, brilliant service. So last few jobs to finish off here. Got to do the derades and other bits. This is the top of the binnacle, which I'm going to put some lacquer on. I use the spray lacquer now. It's better than the paint on one, I think. And I've got some ceramic base and top coat left, so I'm going to do all these bits because it's done such a good job on the top side. So yeah, I'll finish off doing that, and then yeah, we're going to go and meet some people. They when we were out at Anchor last week, some viewers very kindly invited us to lunch, so we're going to go and see their place, which should be lovely.
Tim and Asuman have built their own home. It's in a beautiful spot up in the mountains, inspired by an eclectic mix of European styles. Past the infinity pool and the wisteria, we arrive at an exclusive cottage garden planted with vines.
So these are grapes for wine, are they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
These are all Shiraz.
So how many bottles do you get?
I make about 500 bottles
Okay.
from this lot, and then I can make more if I either make some for one of my neighbours and then share them, or but legally I'm only allowed to make 1 barrel.
Going in. The making of the wine happens here, in what looks like a garage.
So this is your destalker, and it comes out and into these. What happens here?
So this is a destalker and a crusher.
Yeah.
So it breaks the skins.
Yeah.
And takes all the stalks out.
Yeah.
So
you don't do it by feet. You don't have to sit there and
I
stomp
have
on
done
it.
that the first year.
Oh really?
Well, not by feet actually. I did it by hands.
Yeah.
But my hands turned black from the tannin,
Ah.
and literally for a month they stayed black.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
But anyway, so it will destalk.
Yeah.
The must, as it's called, all the good stuff goes into the barrels.
Yeah.
And then we add yeast.
The trick to getting the oaky taste to the wine comes from this oak barrel, which Tim brought over from France. The wine stays in here for a year until it's matured.
I remember my dad, when I was small, used these demijohn type things, and you had the bit on the top. You're not using that
So
system.
we do that for overflow. If we've got more
I see.
than fit in the barrel,
Yeah.
then we do that. And then because that doesn't take the oaky flavour on, we drink that young.
The test, of course, is in the tasting.
That's lovely.
That is fruity, isn't it?
It's got a slight. I mean, it's not. You can taste that it's not quite ready yet.
And then a wonderful alfresco lunch of omelette and Turkish mezes, with a small glass of 2017 vintage. After lunch, Asuman shows us more of the area they live in, which has wonderful views, and also an ancient amphitheatre. It always amazes me how many ancient ruins there are around this area, and Turkey has left many of them untouched. A past not quite buried. So we're going from this church to what was definitely an ancient Greek theatre. And all of this Greek history is in Turkey. And that's the thing that we're finding, a real mix of cultures, not only from the past, but also from today. You've been up to the...
It's lovely. Great view. To look out right across the bays and over to Cesme. It's really nice. Perfect day for it.
I think the sun's going to go down shortly.
His mother doing this.
Yeah. Wow.
This is sourdough. Sourdough.
In the village, we have a tour of modern culture and the Turkish love of food. The local bakery makes sour bread. And we find a local delicacy we haven't seen before.
So these are almonds, but you can eat them raw.
Yeah, we eat them raw.
Okay, I'm going to do it.
Go then.
There's definitely an almond taste.
With salt.
It's like peas, or isn't it? It's it definitely tastes green. But the main local produce is this rich golden olive oil, which you drink. Really, rubbing the glass warms it up. Then the quality is determined by how much it burns.
I drink it, really. I
Every
drink
morning.
it so at this time. And then take a small drink.
Sip,
But
okay.
not go all the way. Take it in your mouth.
Just a sip.
Take it and make it, turn it here inside.
Okay, so
It's like wine tasting.
Okay.
And then make this.
Wine tasting kind of. Yeah.
And what is here? Burning.
On your throat, what you feel.
Yes, what
Yeah, a
feel
little
you
bit
here?
of burning.
Burning?
Yeah. And the back of my throat.
Is it burning? Make some.
Yeah.
It means it's a quality, it's a good quality.
Oh.
Most, how most it make it so burn here?
You have to get
It means it's a good
And the back of my
What do you think, Kat?
Yeah,
Yeah?
if you didn't get a tingle, it doesn't mean good.
Okay, I definitely got a
Like
tingle. A lot of tingle. Definitely got a lot of tingle.
Yes.
The village is home to a museum which proudly displays the history of olive oil production. It is clearly a passion. I think the process of making olive oil hasn't really changed much. These are collections from the Roman times. So you just crush and then press. And it's beautiful, it's wonderful. We've got some great olive oil now. It's been a wonderful day, and now we are ready to set sail again.
Judy's just untying the last line here. Stern line off, and then it'll be us leaving Cesme. Exciting.
Goodbye, Cesme. Have a good summer. I think they will. We've been here for nearly 6 months. A great spot with a lovely town and extremely friendly people. Now we're heading south, slowly. Okay, that looks quite interesting.
The job I forgot to do in the winter. Out of sight, out of mind. It's lifting up, so what happened is the end of last year, there's been a bit of webbing that goes from here onto this car, just chafed through, so it should be pulled down, you see, the clue should be pulled down nicely on the boom, so put a new one on, tighten it up, have that job done as well.
It's not too windy today, so good day to do it.
Yeah, I can listen it all off.
Okay, you finished lunch? Still not quite big enough, this
Not quite
table.
finished, but it can.
Okay,
It's very light winds, so we can just.
I think I'll have mine on my lap actually.
Ah, you got your homemade hummus, lovely.
Homemade hummus, homemade juice.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, we're hardly moving, but it's fine, isn't it?
It is. Good picnic spot.
I think that's an all-time lowest speed to be sailing. 0.7 of a knot. Because we've got absolutely no wind at all, and actually I've got the mainsail half dropped down for doing my little job at the clue there, so it's all right. Still filled with air and there's no swell at all, so we're actually moving. It's fine. It's beautiful, look.
As we sail past the island of Samos, the Greek Coast Guard comes to check us out. We are sailing rather slowly, but not planning to stop.
So we're aiming for a little inlet that's just over there. Can't really see it at the moment, but it's almost like a river going by the chart. But we've got to work our way through. There's boats in here. He's just laid a net that's all the way across here, and there's a fish farm over here. And we want to try and go in there and just make sure there's nothing in the way, because this guy just put a tiny little buoy down. You could hardly see it, and then I could see him running a net. So if I'd come later, I might not have actually known there was a net all the way across there. It's just there was a boat one end and you could see him paying something out.
And then, just as we arrive back in Turkish waters, we get an unexpected blast of wind. Would you believe it?
Typical, we just come in and the wind comes up just as we want to anchor.
We've got 18 knots. Luckily, we're heading for a very sheltered anchorage called Gok Liman. It's on our list of beautiful places to stop before we get to Bodrum, and it didn't disappoint. It's more of a fjord than a bay, narrow and deep, and very quiet. There are a few people staying here to fish, but mostly it's incredibly peaceful. Time to anchor. Get a bit wider beyond this little bit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, go in the middle of there if you can.
We're at 12 now.
12, okay, well take us in, see if we can get down to sort of 8 or less. So we haven't got much, can't put much out. Rather get below 10 if we can, and then we won't have to have too much out. We're going to have to put a stern line out anyway.
Yeah, put a stern line, that's fine, isn't it?
Yeah.
9.
Okay, stop us here then. Give that a little pull then just to set it, and then I'll take some in and we'll get the stern round, the stern line. Yeah, just keep going back slowly, it's not pulling yet.
Well, since you've done this.
Yeah, I'll go and find an anchor spot for this if you get the ultra line ready, and then we'll take it out and pull us across. Your little E Propulsion's got enough oomph just about to push the stern round. 26-ton boat, so it's moving us round. Get enough of this, get us pointing in the right direction, then take this over, and I'll probably come back and pull it in from this end. Raining now. How much is that off there? About 2/3?
Yeah, about that.
Okay, that should be enough. Okay, so I've got the chain through there, and when it pulls tight, I don't want it chafing on any of the rock because it's really sharp, this stuff. So that's all connected up. I'll see when she pulls forward that make sure that's not chafing. But yeah, boat's just nicely in the middle. Julie will have to reverse a little bit, probably, or I mean I can pull it back, but probably not just from the water. You have to get on land to do that and get enough purchase to do it, and I can't because it's just a cliff basically and really sharp rocks. So yeah, I'll get Judy to reverse a little bit. So it's nice to have the floating line. I mean, I'll try and take up the slack, but it stops any chance of it getting wrapped around the prop, which would be a bit of a disaster. Right. Probably easiest to do it all from the boat end on this occasion.
Job done. What a great place this is. It's a lovely place to hang out, calm enough for gentle paddleboarding and cleaning stainless steel. These are the parts you need to be in the dinghy, in the water to get to, so they're always left for the first sunny day of the season. It's a job I actually quite like. I've taken a break from the cleaning so I can find us a film to watch tonight. We have data, which is good, but I want to watch the BBC iPlayer, and to do that I need a VPN, which Steve is going to tell you all about.
Okay, so it's got the word surf and shark in it, so it's vaguely nautical, but how is it relevant? Well, it's relevant because we don't have a fibre optic cable that comes into our boat to give us broadband. We have to take it from 4G and Wi-Fi and from whatever source that we can in multiple countries, and that puts you at risk. A VPN, if you don't already know, is a virtual private network. It means your personal data can't be accessed from outside. Basically, you can't be hacked.
Let the hacking begin. First up is Kirkland. They keep everything open and allow indexes in their Apache configuration, so a little wget magic is all that's necessary to download the entire Kirkland Facebook. Kid stuff.
So for us, whether it's being online for navigation, for working on our YouTube channel, or doing a Zoom conference call, this is Judy on a work call. She used to actually wear trousers when she read the news. Seems standards have slipped. But truth be told, one of the biggest uses for us is probably entertainment. Things like Netflix and Amazon Prime have different programming depending on where you are in the world, so sometimes you have to make it look like you're somewhere you're not. But the big one for us is the BBC iPlayer. For the iPlayer to work, you have to be in the UK. Well, of course, the VPN can make it look like you're in the UK, but the BBC has got very good at blocking VPNs. It gets very frustrating. Last year, I changed several times and ended up with a VPN that promised to work. In fact, they advertised themselves as the VPN that just works. Well, it just didn't. One other cool thing is that a subscription to Surfshark covers all of your devices. We find that really useful. Enter promo code SailingFairIsle for 83% off and 3 extra months free.
Yeah, if you have any ideas for films we should watch or a series, just leave a comment.
Yeah, there's quite a few remote anchorages along this coastline, so it's quite nice to sit out when it's warmer. We sit out in the cockpit and have film night. It's really nice. Didn't need to last night though because we were here and there's tavernas all over the place, and we had a lovely fish meal, didn't we? Just out
we
here.
had a fish for dinner. It was lovely. Freshly caught fish for dinner, I should say, as well.
Yeah, some great Turkish food around, and we've got a bottle of Tim's Turkish wine. So we're going to have this tonight. We're going to save this for when we get to Bodrum.
I thought we'd save it for when we get to Bodrum.
Yeah, it's a bit special, Bodrum, because we've got this meeting there with Kraken Yachts. They've got a whole event called Sea and Sail, which we've talked about before. So we're going to go and have a sail on a Kraken. We'll have, obviously, lots in the episode. It'll be in the next episode because it's happening this coming week.
Yeah, next Thursday.
And
I think we're on Thursday, Friday.
Yeah, and I think we'll do a special as well because I think there's going to be a lot of sort of technical stuff. They're quite special, these yachts, so we want to go into some details on them if we can.
And talking about technical stuff, which you were, sort of, power.
Oh, power, yeah.
We have been out for, what, just over a week?
Just over a week.
And the batteries are doing good.
Very good,
Love them.
Yeah, I mean, overcast, few days like this. We've had good wind as well, so not much engine action going on.
Yeah.
So the alternators, I mean, there was one occasion we got down below 50, and we had to go for a couple of hours. It got straight back up to above 80, so that's brilliant. At the moment, we're down at about 50. If the sun comes out, then we'll
trying.
But this is April, and we're now just into May. We're probably as far north of latitude we're going to go. We're going to be in the tropics from here on in.
Yeah.
I think this is it's looking really good for having a boat without a generator, which was what we wanted, not to have the hassle.
We have managed to keep the Bluetti fired up as well, though. I think that's been important for
that's our extra
like that.
extra solar charger generator thing, whatever you want to call it. So an extra battery basically. So that gives us a bit extra, so that's quite good. I run the computer from there as well.
Yeah, exactly. So just remains to say thank you to our patrons and our subscribers, and thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time from Bodrum.
Thanks for watching.